will you go to this hell if there is one? You ever think of that? You ever think if there is a hell? What hell or what type of hell would it be? What exactly is it? What do they do there? And will you feel it? Will you be a spirit or a skeleton because of all the fire? Is there emotion? Does it exist? What it look like? Is there a hell? You ever think of that? You ever meditate on that? All your actions, all your deeds, good, bad, however, what they equal up to when you die. And is there some type of good and evil balance that you were supposed to have down here before you went? You ever think of that? See, when you die, your body is gone. Your flesh is gone. You can no longer taste. You can no longer smell. You can no longer feel. You can no longer hear. And you can no longer see. So is there people waiting for you to see and hug you when you die? Or is it nothingness, just floating energy? Or do your spirit go up to heaven? Do it float up to the sky because all the good deeds you did, and you just floating around in the clouds, or just in the light with God, just a part of this light? What exactly happens? You can't feel anymore. Your flesh is gone, and for eternity. What if he don't like just the littlest of things, that you can get thrown in hell for just being too prideful or too greedy? How far does it go? And does he judge you by the 10 commandments, how much you believe in Christ, or how much you follow these? Or if you love, do you follow just the one, love thy brother as thyself, or love your neighbor as thyself? Like, how deep does the rabbit hole go? And what exactly is he penalizing you for? And for how long? Is there or is it for really eternity? And is eternity, what is eternity to God? For how long? And then does that make them good to make you suffer for eternity? Does that even make sense? And would you want to worship somebody who would make you suffer for eternity for a mistake that you possibly didn't have nothing to do because you wasn't born to? How deep does the rabbit hole go with this death thing, this hell situation, heaven, or what happens, period? Nobody got the answers. So let's just put the books down for a second and think. Death, gone, here no more. The possibilities of it, scenarios, what exactly can happen? Is it scary enough to make you never even think about it again? Or is it one of those situations where it's like, that scenario sounds good. Let's try it. That's just absurd. But when you really think of it, it's one of the scariest things to think of as a man. But however, man, think of these things. They had no choice because they either witness it or they have to deal with it themselves. One day, are you reincarnated as an animal or an insect? Are you a spirit just floating around? Do you go up to this heavenly place or do you go down to this fiery place? And is it for eternity? And is it a war that's supposed to happen after it's all said and done? And is it just this planet? Dangerous topic, because let's just say there's the perfect explanation and there is the best like there. There's a life beyond this and there's no consequences or whatever. Then that just means that people will be jumping off a rooftop. So having a good explanation for death is probably the worst thing that you could possibly do. Only think about it, because I have to. I'm human. But it is good to go over the possibilities. That there can be a good outcome or a bad outcome depending on your actions as you're here. So I guess going over scenarios, just reassure that you'll never know, and it's kind of good not to find out because you could end up in a worse situation. Imagine coming back as an aunt, or coming back as the opposite gender, or coming back in, like, or in a worse position than you are now.